Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Gaming Quitte, the most delicious Quitte of them all. 2020 is gone and we are now in 2020 2.0, also called 2021. Dragalia Lost is still one of my favorite games, even though it has seen quite some changes since the game launched. Those changes were mostly good in my eyes, but there's obviously been a lot of things I would like to be added or changed in this game. In this video, we're going to talk about a few things that I would personally love to see in Dragalia Lost in 2021. Let's start. Let's be real right at the beginning. Spending money to summon in Dragalia Lost is usually not the best idea. I buy Diamantium to support the game and to do daily deals, for example, but I have never and I never will buy Diamantium to actually do summon sessions. And I know I'm not alone in this boat, mainly because the game is still pretty generous and there's no real need to buy Diamantium, you just have to save up a little bit. So Dragalia Lost needs to add new things to let us spend our money on. One of the things they added were skill tomes that we can use to unlock skills to be shared. Thing with these is though we also get them for free in events, which is great but kinda defeats the need to spend money on them. Still good that we get them for free though, since it actually has an influence on the gameplay. So why not give us things that don't have any influence on the gameplay, or at least not in a big way, and are mostly cosmetic? One example could be weapon skins, and they have done that in the past with the New Year sword, that by the way has never been rerun up to this point, and I highly regret not buying it. And I feel like not regularly giving us new skins to buy is a missed opportunity. Right now the game is still being extremely generous by giving us weapon skins for free if you play the Battle Royale mode, for example, and I love that. But I think it would also be a good idea to just give us some skins to buy. Speaking of Battle Royale, why not add a paid battle pass there where you could farm extra champions, testaments, tomes, or even another weapon skin? This kinda helps to solve several problems. Get some money in for the game and also have people play the Battle Royale mode. It kinda also creates the problem of people feeling the famous FOMO, fear of missing out, so it might not be the best way to do things, but I guess we need to start somewhere. Another aspect could be to give us cosmetics like accessories, changeable hair colors, or even skins for the characters. This also wouldn't destroy the purpose of old versions, we could still get those, but at the same time we could use other outfits for our units. I think Grand Blue does this, where you can just buy and select a skin for your units. If you think this would create confusion in pubs, well, just make it so people could turn it off to see your skins, or give you the option to only have you see the skin you're using. The problem is solved with that. Accessories and hair colors would be a small but really nice thing. I play Star Ocean Anamnesis, for example, and you can do so much stuff there with the accessories. You get some for free and you can also buy packs with them. I feel like this is a good way to get people to spend, but it's still an optional thing to do. And here's a random thought as a side note, I would also love a photo mode where you could place units and just take pictures with them. This would be especially cool with the option of using accessories and all of that stuff, just as a small random additional idea. Let's talk about the next thing that I really want in Dragalia Lost, a training mode or a showcase mode. A training mode would be dope just to actually try out a character and learn their kits. There's some complicated characters in Dragalia Lost, and giving us the chance to actually learn them by hitting some dummies before we go into Agito would be really dope. This is something you can do in Star Ocean, for example, too, and it helps understanding a unit tremendously. Or, and I will pick another game as an example here, Genshin Impact gives us the opportunity to test new units in a showcase mode. I think Bleach Brave Souls also does that, but I'm not entirely sure on that. Just let us playtest new units to see if we understand and like their playstyle. And I absolutely guarantee you, Cygames, that this would make more people summon for units, because once you've tried out a fun unit, you definitely want to go for it. It's more likely that people will spend their hard-earned resources on a unit after they tried it out, than after just watching some videos or listening to extremely cool people on YouTube who do analysis videos, like me! Speaking of new modes, we could also use some new permanent gameplay modes. Something people have been screaming about for quite some time would be a labyrinth or tower mode that you can do daily to grind for more resources. I've been playing quite a lot of Princess Connect lately, the global version, and it has this cool dungeon mode you can play on a daily basis. Main goal is to just reach the top using your best units and getting nice rewards while doing so. The catch here is that once a character dies, you can't use it anymore and you're forced to use someone else. A similar mode would be perfect in Dragalia Lost, especially since a lot of us veteran players have tons of units we could use. Obviously there would need to be some different levels of difficulty or newer players would be kind of screwed by this, but we do get a lot of units pretty quickly by just summoning a little bit, so maybe it wouldn't even be that much of a deal for new players. I also wouldn't mind if we would get a permanent edition of the Colosseum, where you fight different Dragalia Lost adventurers for rewards. You could make it a weekly thing where you just play it a few times a week and then you're done with it. With the amount of adventurers we have, I think it wouldn't be too difficult to draft up a few nice fights and increase the amount of fights regularly. The big problem I see with adding new modes though is that I feel like new players are already extremely overwhelmed with the amount of stuff you can do in Dragalia Lost, and increasing that workload could be turning people off from playing the game, which would be counterproductive in the end. We've talked about playable modes, but let's talk about the next topic. Something where you don't play yourselves. Some kind of idle mode would be really cool, where you just grind resources while you're either not playing or simply grinding Agito or something like that. A lot of games have these idle modes. Just a few examples. Star Ocean has the spaceship exploration where you send units to collect stuff. Genshin has the same thing, even though the rewards there are kinda eh. Illusion Connect has some form of idle mode and just gives you a ton of resources by just existing. There's whole games based around not playing. AFK Arena, for example, is probably the most famous one of them. And you know, I already know how to make this mode happen. Bring the dog back. It would honestly be perfect. Bring the dog back as a means to have it go out and hunt for different resources. You could make it so you need to send units with the dog, and based on the elements of the unit, you get stuff related to that. Like if you send Shadow Adventurers with the dog, it brings you back some Abaddon Orbs, Shadow Worm Scales, or even things you would normally get from doing High Dragon Trials or Agito. Maybe even give different units different things they could get, so it gives you an incentive to plan out your doggo adventures. And from that point on, you could also maybe give us different skins for the dog, or something like that. There's so much untouched and helpful potential here, it baffles my mind that we don't have this yet. Now let's talk about my biggest wish for Dragalia Lost in 2021, and it's not even related to gameplay at all. My biggest wish isn't a cool new mode, a cool new boss fight, or whatever. I will be completely honest with you guys. My biggest personal wish for Dragalia Lost is live 2D art and animated skill art. There's so many games out there that have live 2D art, and it's kinda unfair to compare, I know, because these games often only have the live 2D art as their main graphic gimmick. But it's just kinda weird to see no movement at all in Dragalia Lost's pictures after playing these games. Illusion Connect is an amazing example for that. They do it really well, or the naughty Destiny Child is absolutely fantastic when it comes to animated art. And when it comes to the skills, we've seen it with Pecorine that it's possible in Dragalia Lost to have animated portraits when using a skill. The problem here is, well, we have over 200 units in Dragalia Lost, and it would be a massive undertaking to animate all of these units. So let's go back to monetization. I would actually pay money to unlock animated stuff for units. Or alright, make it gameplay related. Give units that have a mana spiral animated stuff when you upgrade them. This doesn't also reward you in terms of having them be stronger, but also makes them look cooler. Or, and now it gets completely crazy, introduce a 6-star update for units, which basically just increases, I don't know, their level by 20 again, so you can reach 120, and gives characters an animated version. This makes units a little bit stronger, but not too much to inflate numbers, and it also makes them just look cooler. I would really love to have that in Dragalia Lost, and I hope we can get something like this in the future. And yeah, that's it. Those were my biggest personal wishes for Dragalia Lost in 2021, and I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me in the comments below what your wishes are, besides more Vermite please. And if you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe for more Dragalia Lost content. Don't forget to ring the bell. If you want to chat with me and a lot of cool people, join the Discord, the link is in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!